Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
This is a special edition of Inside TWiT.
And it's going to be a short one.
Is it? Because you're hungry and everybody wants to go to dinner.
Well, you know, we have all these people here. Are Mike's live? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So we have all these people here. So I wanted to, don't tip too far. I wanted to say happy anniversary.
Yay. Second anniversary of our brand new studio.
And I don't know, do we have any pictures of our new sign up front?
Oh, I posted some on Google+.
I posted some on Google+, too.
We have a gorgeous, if you can find that, John, we have a gorgeous new sign, which is perfect timing because we've only been here 2 years, and I didn't really want to put a sign up until we really knew that we wanted to stay here.
Was that the reason why, or was it because I kept saying we need to save money for a while?
Well,
I think it was a little bit of me.
We had a vinyl sign up for a long time that said TWiT Brick House opening party.
Yeah, and I
had all our advertisers on it. And we did that for the party, but we never took it down.
I took that down a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
But I knew what I wanted for a sign for a long time, and we just finally got around to doing it. And thanks to Barbara's sign. Do you have that image anywhere?
Can we pull it up and take a quick look at it?
There it is.
Yay!
So I really like how that looks. Those are metal letters. There's a copper paint that actually looks it blends in better on the when you get out there. It kind of is coordinated with that. And there's blue LEDs behind it. And once the sun sets tonight, we'll be able to see for the first time what that looks like.
It's TWiT blue behind it.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. That is our logo. And we didn't want to I wanted something kind of understated. I didn't want anything too flashy. But it's nice. It makes me feel like we're really here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
official.
We actually...
We've only been here for 2 years, but we just
and we don't
made it
own
official.
this building.
Right.
I just want to point that out.
Well, not yet.
I guess we could buy it. We've
might.
talked a little bit about, we have a few more years on our lease, right?
No.
How many more years?
1.
What?
We have options to extend.
Oh, yeah. So we have options.
Yeah.
But the rent's going up pretty fast now because it goes to market.
Correct.
We got a good deal. We got
a really
like
good deal.
55 cents.
We can't complain.
A square foot, and now
No, I wouldn't say 55 cents. That's wrong.
was cheaper than that or more than that?
It was a little more than that.
Well, this is what, 8,500 square feet up here?
It was 70 cents a foot.
70 cents. Okay.
But we pay nothing for our basement.
And that's the beauty of it. We have a 10,000 square foot basement or whatever. No, wait a minute.
It's got to be about, I'd say, 7,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's a big basement.
It's a huge basement.
Yeah.
So
and this is Lisa and Lisa Kentzell, who really, without whom this would not exist, because there's no way in hell I would have been able to do this without, somebody who, yeah.
Well,
so she gets all the credit.
Well, I was the project manager on this job, but if I wasn't surrounded by an awesome team, I have to thank everyone that helped build the studio because John was here. I know Alex Gumpel was here with regards to the TriCaster and everything.
We had a consulting engineer who had some experience in building studios, but basically the construction team.
The entire project was under
our engineers, all of that, Lisa, nobody had ever done this before. And even the guy who built the consulting engineer who had built studios before had never built anything like this before. In fact, that in some ways was why we had to do it ourselves.
Right.
Because nobody's ever done what we did. Instead of, for instance, having studio cameras, we bought 40 consumer camcorders and just put them everywhere.
I remember going with Ken Marylees to NAB, and I went and we researched all the cameras, and we ended up coming back to the Canon because of the price point and how many we needed, and it worked out. Cool. So it was fun. It was a fun project to build. Looking forward to the next studio.
John, we have some visual assists, right? What do you got?
Well, before we do that, I would like to get the cake. I would like you to cut the cake.
You should cut the cake this time. I cut the cake last time.
You can cut it. And then I would like everybody to, have cake now that wants it. Here. And for those that want to come back.
Hold my hand steady.
This is weird.
Where do I cut it?
Wherever you want. Want to go there?
Is it? It looks like a brick.
It's supposed to look like a brick.
Is it going to be soft?
Yes. Ready?
Oh, my God. It's buckling.
Now, here. Saw it.
God, I hope the walls are better than this. Holy moly. Is that too big?
So good. I want a corner piece because I want all the icing.
It has, don't worry. There's fondant galore.
Oh, this looks fabulous.
All right. Well, I'm not going to serve all of these.
Is it chocolate cake? I think I requested
Give me a little
chocolate
paper.
cake.
No, it's white.
And it's real icing because I have a problem with fake icing and whipped cream.
It's fondant. I don't think this is icing. Oh, baby.
Yes. This is my kind of cake.
Come to Papa.
Okay, I'm very happy now.
There you go. Corner piece for Ms. Kentzell.
Yes, I'm going to inhale this, but I think I'm going to. Well, let me have a bite now.
And then we'll let you guys take it and start serving.
Thank you. I just want to take a bite. I have to at least taste this.
Wow, that's a nice looking cake.
I'm going to taste the grout on the.
How's the grout taste?
I don't know. I'm going to find out. Let's try the grout first.
So there's a layer of gray grout here. Where did you get this?
It's sugar.
Who is this? Petaluma Cake Company. All right.
And I found out they're related to me.
You're kidding.
Well,
you're related to everybody.
And here in Petaluma, yeah.
Yeah. So we the cake we had for the grand opening 2 years ago
so good.
Was a model of the whole thing, right? It had microphone and
I don't remember.
Remember that?
Vaguely. This is good. All right.
And this top brick, that's bacon.
No.
No?
It's more chocolate. Oh my God, this is like tons of icing.
So what's next? What else? What do we do here?
So I think we should take a look at where we started. I mean, that was one of the things we wanted to...
This is the last bit of the cake that I saved. And you know what's interesting? It never went bad.
I don't recommend eating it, though. Isn't that just cardboard, or is that a cookie?
No, it's fondant wrapped around a cardboard.
Oh.
We actually called them, and we said, Leah would like to save this. Will it go bad? And they said... No, it's just sugar.
So I don't know if this will go bad, but did you see how thick that icing is?
It is good.
Oh my God.
So yesterday, Colleen, who was the first chief engineer, and really invented a lot of the technologies we use, came up to visit us. She left for us, as I mentioned, for Google, and has since moved on. She's now entertaining offers from some very big companies.
She's doing quite well. It was really nice to see her. She was
just a sociology major who just became an expert in streaming video. It was great to see her. So let's take a look. We took a little tour of the originating place, the old TWiT Cottage. So we started here. Hey, it's Colleen Kelly. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages. So we were started here, and we'll show the little room upstairs in 2005, 8 years ago, dear. 8 years ago? And you joined me in maybe 2008, 2007. Like that. You were still in college, San Jose State, right?
Yep.
And studying...
sociology.
The major of engineering students everywhere.
Exactly, yes.
And you were looking for an internship. You had just gotten back from Japan.
Because there was a difference between the Japanese semesters when they end and where American ones begin, so I was only looking for a 3-month internship originally. So
you showed up on my doorstep. It was this doorstep right here, and said, and after I talked to you for about 20 minutes, I said, I'm not going to give you an internship, but you have a job if you want.
I'm like, sure, I'll take money.
It was just me, it was Dane. Frederic, were you working for us by that point?
Yep.
The next day.
After I hired you, I hired Colleen. We must have been in a growth, vice versa. Okay. And then because we got Ham Nation, right? About that, Tony?
Yeah,
June 1st.
Tony, maybe.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You introduced me to Tony. That's right. So you were employee number 3. I know, this is my last bite. Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
And this is where we were. This was the cottage. It used to be called the TWiT Cottage, and they've put the old sign, the Kavanaugh Cottage, back.
We still have the old sign back at the
We do. We have the sign.
You can come back and sneak and put it on.
They call it that because this over here was the Kavanaugh House, which was built by a lumber baron in the 1900s. And then he built this house, and there's a duplicate across town for his 2 daughters as they got married. He built this, and then he built the other one.
He has clones of his house.
Yes, he cloned this. So this was just a little cottage that he built for his daughter for a wedding gift. You want to go in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm curious. I don't know who.
I still remember the tour you gave on the webcam when you were still upstairs before you were doing any live stuff, and you were
That's right.
Just
with a little
downstairs.
Logitech, yeah. And you took the best and still most viewed picture of me, which we're going to show.
Flickr.
Yeah, the one on Flickr. We were going to use this for a studio, we thought. We did like one...
Echo.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then the light, you couldn't control it. It's a nice porch, though. Hi.
Hello.
Sorry to barge in like this. I hope you don't mind.
No problem.
What business do you do here? I'm Leo, by the way.
Hey, Leo. Cheryl Bertini.
Hi, Cheryl.
ISO Group Commerce Solutions. We're
e-commerce.
sovereign. No, the name is a little bit misleading. We are IBM business partner, and we're a software consulting firm specializing in integrations.
So it's still technology. This is the big room, but do you mind if I run upstairs? By the way, I love it that they still have somebody sitting on a ball.
Has anyone popped?
Oh, listen to that. I have a leak. I'm sinking. So that's your fault, by the way. I used to sit on these anti-burst stability balls from Gopher Sport, and Colleen said,
they're all the same.
They're all the same. They source them from China. I found a cheaper place, so we bought like 4 Chinese balls. Those are the ones that those are the ones that burst. But I don't blame you. No. Look at this. They've turned my studio into a bedroom.
Much more organized now.
That's hysterical. Now, this I don't. It's closed, so I don't. Oh, it's like a server room.
Just like old times.
Yeah, so this is where it started. It was in this little room. Was I in here when you started?
No, you were in there, but you still had this room. And I saw an episode of something on Revision 3 once where it was
that's right.
You in this studio here.
I'm here behind the scenes at TWiT This Week in Tech with host Leo Laporte. Leo, this has to be the most complicated setup I've ever seen in my entire life.
Way too complicated. This is just kind of grown in a bad way. This is actually, we just completed our last time that we're going to do it here in the little mini TWiT office, my Garrett office.
So basically, when you joined me, I'm going to close this because it's a little noisy. It was
Dane
just
was
me.
in there.
Dane was in here. It was just me, and we weren't doing much. I mean, I was recording stuff. I don't think we were doing anything live yet, were we?
You were doing live stuff on Stickam and Ustream where you just
we
turned
were.
on the webcam while you're... Yeah, that's how I found out about you.
You saw me on Stickam.
Yeah, you wanted to do the live network, but at the time you were just using the Stickam.
Yeah, we had no way of doing that. And had you had any experience doing anything like that?
Nah.
But I knew immediately you were smart because you had built you were a geek, absolutely. You'd built computers. You actually had your own company, skateboard company, longboards.
Laser cut racing skateboards.
You brought me one and blew me away. And that was in high school when you started doing that. So I knew you were entrepreneurial. I knew you were super smart. I knew you were techie. So that's all I needed to know. You don't have to know anything.
Moldable material.
Well, and you know, Kevin Rose has even said this. He said, I made a mistake of hiring people for their skills. You hire them for their brains. Anybody can acquire skills.
Otherwise, you have to tell them what to do.
Right. And you proved me right because you absorbed this like a sponge and became far more of an expert. You're probably one of the foremost experts in this thing, in streaming video. You are. Admit it. Admit it.
I do a lot of video.
Where are you now? You left Google.
I'm working with a bunch of startups.
So Google stole you from us. Then what?
Then I went off to a startup for a while.
What were you doing at Google?
I was a streaming video engineer at first, and then I was a product specialist / technical program manager. I was doing video ingestion for Google Play Movies and all their sort of transcoding pipeline. So
you went from a sociology degree and no experience to like working...
Engineer at Google.
At engineering Google. That's pretty good job.
Which is what I told you I was going to do the first day we met.
I know. You said, I remember, if Google offers me a job, I'm taking it. And I said, okay, that's a deal. That was fair. Yeah, you worked hard on it. So we were in here. You know, this was always funny because it's got a shower, it's got a bathroom in here, it's got a sink.
Do they still have Dr. Bronner's in there?
No, I took it. It's in the new place.
Are you still trying to kill that one last bottle? Don't those things last forever?
You never use it up. And this was good for a studio. It still is because of the slanted, dormer attic here. And that's where the desk was, and that's where that great picture you took of me with a mess.
And you had all sorts of stuff.
So I want you to talk a little bit about some of the inventions, because this is where they happened. Eventually, the editors ended up. Tony worked in here. You could end up in here, Anthony. You should be glad. How hot did this get in the summertime? It's unbearable.
We had some sort of contraption with
remember that?
Air conditioners.
We had a standalone air conditioner. You solved that downstairs. You got me one of those Japanese two-part.
Which leaked every so often.
Every once in a while, you had to come running in with a bucket. So one of the things that you did that was so great, I mean, we were doing stuff nobody had done, is you invented some things. The first thing I remember was Skypeosaurus.
Yeah.
Right? What was that?
Well, the problem we had is that we needed to have multiple people video conferencing at the same time, sort of like what Hangouts does now, but...
yeah, it would have been a lot easier if Google had just hurried up.
But the Skypeosaurus allows you to get isolated feeds of the audio and video for all of them, so you can switch to them.
Each one's on a separate channel.
Exactly. So basically what it was is it was actually 4 computers running Intel Atom reference boards, and they just had S-Video out, and then I had S-Video capture cards. And I put it on this quad display with cheap, like $20 monitor. What do we get?
It was Atom machines, cheap monitors. We didn't have a lot of money. You put the whole thing together for under $1,000.
The whole thing was duct tape, and the whole studio was duct tape. And so then we put it on this quad frame, and then used Synergy.
Synergy.
You use Synergy so that you have one
mouse.
keyboard and mouse, and so you can set up all the calls, but it's actually 4 machines working in conjunction.
And it would go down, and there was a snake pit behind the desk, and you'd have to crawl back there.
S-Video cables you can't crimp, so
they fall
you couldn't
off.
do that, and they fall off constantly. There's a lot of things you learn working your way up from working with that kind of stuff, and one of those is that never use S-Video.
That's the rule number 1.
Never use S-Video.
So let me show you.
This is the funny room.
The little funny room is where our servers were. I don't know, and this is so strange. You can't go in here.
Oh, yeah, it's like an airlock.
So you got to close this door and open this door. Well, Anthony, you go here.
And duck first.
You go here, duck, go through there.
This is not exactly...
Yeah, okay, and then you go through here, and then you go in here. Okay, now you got to come back here. Wait a minute. No, but if you go to... Wait a minute, there's not...
You have to come in.
Never mind. We never did use the fireplace. Well, wait a minute, though. Didn't we, for Christmas, once put fake fire in there? And I sat here as Santa Claus?
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that? Maybe that was after your time. You probably would have vetoed it had you known. And then this is, to me, this is still the most beautiful room.
It's so much bigger now.
It seems like there's so much room in here.
Well, you got that desk.
The desk, the world's largest desk, which Dane said, you don't need a desk that big.
That
we
desk
filled
was
it up.
Awesome. And it was structural.
It was.
I was climbing all over the desk.
So you did something in here which was amazing. You put in a lighting grid. But because this is a vintage home, you weren't allowed to even to drill into the walls.
Right.
So what'd you do?
So I just went down to the junkyard down here and found these extendable poles that were aluminum.
They were like, they said like baking company.
Yeah, there was like a cereal company, organic cereal company that shut down that hadn't, and so they were hanging between the corners on the crown molding. And
You're such a genius.
And then
There's no one could have done this. And then we took this thing down. It was completely wrong. We're lucky we didn't burn in a fiery flames. We took that out so that you had something in the center you could hang it from, and it was just rest on these lips. So the only thing that was holding it was the feet. Because it was on the floor, and the thing in the center.
And I used PVC pipe joints to go up into that.
It was all fake speed rail, basically.
Yeah.
Now we know what that is.
Yes.
But at the time...
It would have been nice to have known. We probably wouldn't have the budget for it at the time, though.
Do you remember playing with the green screen?
Oh, yeah, we were
here?
trying to get a green screen to work, and there was light coming through the back, and it doesn't work, and it's like, it was a great idea. Didn't work at all.
We had a few fights over that. That's not gonna work. It's gonna work. It's not gonna work.
It didn't work at all.
It didn't work.
And how all of this is completely uneven. We were trying to measure it to see.
Oh, nothing is straight.
This entire
You could
house.
roll a marble from here all the way and would go around the corner and come back in the room.
I wonder if the sound deadening is still hiding behind us.
Oh, yeah, this was another problem. So this was a pass-through into the kitchen, and we didn't have the kitchen.
It's still there.
There was another therapist in here, right? Or no, she was an esthetician. She was doing facials.
Yeah.
And we would hear her phone ring, her answering machine come through the pass-through. So what did you do?
So I got some, blue painter's tape and some foam core board and put it up there, and then I glued to that sound insulating foam. So it was actual sound insulation. I just couldn't glue it to the walls.
You taped it.
And it's not like it's heavy. So I did the paper tape on that, and then I glued it to that. So if they ever want to remove it, they can remove it.
And none of this is Colleen's fault because she had no budget. So you did everything. What's amazing is you invented this stuff from whole cloth for no money.
And it'd be like from Radio Shack in like a half hour.
And you did it, and it worked. And it's just an amazing thing. So from the servers to Skyposaurus to the soundproofing to the green screen, the whole thing, the lighting rig. It's kind of nice that you could be here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
To see it. And now we've moved into a little bit more, but not completely professional.
Much nicer toys now.
It's a better toys, a little bit more budget, but I have to say I have fond memories of doing this.
It was fun, and it was definitely the Millennium Falcon. Why am I in black and white now? It's because the chroma channel on this video cable.
It would go black and white.
And it's just all of a sudden, then you'd start doing the black and white show randomly. And
have to crawl under the carpet, come over here. The cameras are all over here. Oh my God, they were on tripods, which get knocked over. The whole thing was crazy. All right. Anyway, well, I guess we're done with our tour here. Wow, they've really improved this. They got a foosball game. Man, these people are living. They got a stove. We never had a stove.
Well, this was where we would assemble all of our rigs to go to like CES.
Right. The first time we went to CES, this was the testing room. You had everything lined up. That was amazing. You were able to do that.
That was actually pretty cool because it was the entire studio and
everything. I'm telling you, everything you saw in here was Colleen.
But that one actually worked out pretty well, where we had the TriCaster in the box with the rack mount, and Tech loaned us a TriCaster.
Do you remember though the live view that you built?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Mushroom Networks.
It was a plexiglass glued together that you would hang over your.
And it worked until we got there.
Of course, same thing with live view. It works until you're in a hostile environment, and then it doesn't work anymore. I can only imagine how hard this was, and I didn't see 90% of it. And a lot of this, just Colleen would come in the morning and say, well, I think I fixed it. But a lot of it was late nights. Yeah. Almost every night was late nights. I hope you got something out of it. Did you learn something?
I would say so. I learned a lot. My entire career is owed to this, so.
It's so nice to see you. Golly, I miss you. We got to stay in touch. You got to come back, and maybe we can hire you back. We can invent some more stuff. So this is it, the old TWiT Cottage. Thank you for being here, Colleen.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. We'll send it back to the Brick House.
It's fun to see that again.
Yeah,
and
I think
Lisa worked there, and Chad worked there for about a minute.
Right. A lot of people worked there for about a minute.
3 months. 3 months felt like 3 years when you were all jammed together. We were sitting around a table about this side. You had about 8 people sitting around this table.
Yeah, I recall some employees were complaining about other employees smacking, and they were just like, I'm going to kill him if he smacks again. And it was hilarious because it was like you're at that dinner table. You can never leave it.
Liz, was that you?
Liz was ready to kill one of our employees at the time.
Now,
it was pretty hilarious.
All we could do is say, we're moving. We leased a place. We're building a studio. It's going to get better someday.
And we originally were going to build this studio and only spend a very small budget and do it in 3 months. So that's why we hired all these people. And then
we thought, what, $350,000 would cost?
We were thinking about $300,000 on
We'd
equipment.
save that much.
And maybe $100 to just do some basic cosmetic resurfacing and just move in, get the right equipment and go. Right. And so we hired all these people, and then Leo's like, no, let's throw that out and let's build this great studio.
$1.5 million later.
I think we've come a long way from
it's a beautiful
the little
place, and it really
little
works.
cottage.
Thank you all. We have so many great engineers, from John Slanina, who manages this studio, and Burke McQuinn, who fixes stuff.
And we have more coming to our studio. We've recently added the set for the Enterprise show, and we're working on building our green screen because our next show we're launching is going to be shot on green screen.
Yeah, and Johnny Jett's here, and one of them will be Mr. Johnny Jett's travel show. Radford Castro is now our engineering manager. We actually have a programmer, Patrick Delahanty. Our engineering team has grown quite a bit from Colleen. We took about 5 people to replace Colleen. Anyway, we got to get out of the way because the Hams are here, and we want to let them have their place. We're going to have a company dinner. We did not eat the whole cake.
Oh, I ate the whole cake.
It's all that's left.
I mean, do you see how much icing is on this? Like, that's the icing.
It's a lot of fun.
And that's the cake. And I usually only eat the icing. I can't do it this time.
Thanks for being here for our 2nd anniversary. Thanks to everybody who came all this way, especially to F and Dunn, who drove up last night and spent the night in a parking lot.
You know, if you're a huge fan and you do that, we take you to dinner once in a while. So we're taking him with us. So get some ideas out there.
Yep. We'll be back tomorrow with our regularly scheduled programs.